Most people live by believing that wealth is the result of hard work and relentless dedication. But there is a silent truth about wealth that few have discovered. Within you are two forces to minds that, when balanced, create an irresistible magnetic flow for prosperity. This is the revelation that transformed the lives of thousands of people, but remains hidden from most. Wallace D. Wattles, one of the greatest masters of the science of wealth, said, "There is a science of getting rich, and it is an exact science, like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches, and when these laws are learned and obeyed by any man or woman, that person will become rich with mathematical certainty." And what he discovered, after years of deep study and observation, was that there is a balance, a sacred dance between the creative mind and the thinking mind. When this dance harmonizes, fortune is not only possible, it becomes inevitable. Look around you. See the people who fight, who strive, who work until exhaustion. They are only using a part of their inner power. It's like trying to fly with just one wing. No matter how hard they try, they remain trapped in the cycle of limitation. Have you ever felt this? That feeling that, no matter how hard you work, no matter how many strategies you implement, something seems to be missing. Like there's a secret ingredient you haven't discovered yet? This is the sign that your two minds are out of alignment. The creative mind, the one that dreams, that visualizes, that connects with the infinite, and the thinking mind, the one that analyzes, that plans, that executes, are not dancing together. They are competing rather than collaborating. The result is effort without proportional fruits. It's exhaustion without adequate reward. It's the constant feeling that you deserve more than you're getting. But there is a way, an exact science to balance these two powerful forces within you. And when this balance is achieved, resistance dissolves, the fighting stops, and the flow of prosperity begins to flow freely towards you. Today, you'll find out exactly how to do that. How to align your creative mind with your thinking mind to generate an irresistible magnetic power that attracts fortune in ways you never thought possible. This is not a fantasy. It's not a distant dream. It's an exact science, a mathematical formula for prosperity that works with the same precision as the law of gravity. And you are about to master it. The creative mind is like the sun, radiant, expansive, limitless. It is the source of all ideas, inspirations, and visions that transform the world. It is through it that you connect with the infinite field of possibilities, where all abundance already exists in a potential state. This mind knows no limits, doesn't recognize the word impossible. It transcends time and space, allowing you to visualize realities that have not yet manifested, but that already exist on the plane of possibilities. It is through the creative mind that the great visionaries conceived their works, before they even existed in the physical world. Edison saw the light bulb light up in his mind before creating the first prototype. Steve Jobs envisioned the iPhone while others were still satisfied with basic phones. They activated the power of the creative mind. On the other hand, the thinking mind is like the earth's solid, structured, practical. It is the force that analyses, plans, organizes, and executes. It is through it that the visions of the creative mind gain structure and materialize on the physical plane. This mind works with the concrete, with the tangible. She sets goals, creates strategies, manages resources, and implements actions. She is the executor, the director, the builder who turns dreams into reality. These two minds were not made to compete with each other, but to dance in perfect harmony. One creates, the other performs. One dreams, the other builds. One expands, the other concretizes. But look around you. What do you see? A world where most people live in one of two extremes. On the one hand, we have the eternal dreamers, those who have wonderful visions, brilliant ideas, revolutionary projects, but who never materialize them. They are people dominated by the creative mind, but devoid of the executing force of the thinking mind. They live in the realm of possibilities, but rarely reap concrete fruits. On the other side, we have the tireless workers, those who execute without stopping, who follow plans and strategies with military precision, but without the spark of expansive vision. They are people dominated by the thinking mind, but disconnected from the unlimited power of the creative mind. They build solid structures, but often without the spark of innovation or the magnetic energy of abundance. I know a man, a brilliant businessman, who has spent years developing marketing strategies, business plans, and tactics. I worked 14 hours a day, implementing every detail with precision. He dominated the thinking mind like few others, but his results were average, far below what his effort deserved. Until one day, through a mentor, he discovered that he was completely neglecting his creative mind. He didn't visualize, he didn't dream, he didn't connect with the infinite field of possibilities. It was like a builder trying to build a building without architectural plans. When you started taking time to activate your creative mind through meditation, visualization, and connecting with your higher purpose, something extraordinary happened. The same strategies that previously produced limited results began to bear abundant fruit. The same actions, now fueled by the energy of the creative mind, created exponentially greater results. In just 6 months, his business tripled. And most surprisingly, he was working fewer hours with less effort and experiencing more flow and joy in the process. This is what happens when the two minds come into harmony. The effort decreases and the results multiply. There's a hidden path to abundance that few discover. A path where excessive effort is replaced by the power of internal balance, where struggle is replaced by harmony, where resistance gives way to flow. We have been taught to believe that wealth is a direct result of hard work, sacrifice, struggle. But the true masters of prosperity, like Wallace D. Wattles, discovered a different truth. They realized that fortune follows the law of least resistance, not the law of greatest effort. Wattles wrote, "There's a way of doing everything, and if you do everything in this way, it will be done by the power of law. It is power that produces, not hard work." What he was revealing to us is that the true source of wealth is not in how hard you work, but in the quality of your internal energy. It is the vibration you emit that attracts or repels fortune. And this vibration is directly determined by the balance between your creative mind and your thinking mind. When your creative mind is fully active, you emit a vibrational frequency that resonates with the abundance of the universe. You program your subconscious to recognize and attract opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with prosperity. It's as if you are transmitting a signal. I'm open to the infinite flow of abundance. And the universe, which operates by perfect laws, responds to this signal by bringing experiences that correspond exactly to its frequency. But the creative mind alone is not enough. This is where the thinking mind comes into play. The thinking mind transforms creative energy into concrete action. She sets clear goals, defines effective strategies, and takes precise actions. Without it, your visions remain in the realm of possibility, never materializing in the physical world. But here's the crucial secret. The thinking mind must serve the creative mind, not dominate it. When the thinking mind tries to take control, fear, doubt, and limitation take over. Plans are created from scarcity, not abundance. Actions are motivated by the fear of failure, not the joy of creating. How many times have you separated thought from action? How many times have you dreamed big but acted small? How many times has your creative mind visualized an extraordinary result, but your thinking mind has implemented actions based on doubt and fear? This disconnect is the source of all financial frustration. It's why so many people work tirelessly but remain stuck in cycles of limitation. Fortune does not choose the most hardworking, but the most aligned. It flows naturally to those who have found the inner balance between vision and action, between dream and achievement, between the creative mind and the thinking mind. This is the silent path to abundance. It's not about working harder. It's about vibrating higher. It's not about doing more, but about being more. It's not about fighting the current, but about flowing with it. And when you master this dance between your two minds, the entire universe conspires to materialize your prosperity. The coincidences multiply. Opportunities appear as if by magic. Doors open where there were only walls before. Imagine a symphony orchestra playing the most beautiful composition ever created. Each instrument, each note, each pause contributes to the harmony of the whole. But what would happen if each musician played his own melody ignoring the others. The result would be chaos, not music. This is exactly what happens inside us when our two minds are not in sync. The creative mind plays a tune of infinite abundance, while the thinking mind follows a score of limitation and scarcity. The result is an internal dissonance that is reflected in our external circumstances. True prosperity emerges when you become the perfect conductor of this inner orchestra. When you learn to rule the creative mind and the thinking mind in a harmonious symphony. That resonates with the frequency of abundance. How to develop this balance? How to become the conductor of your internal orchestra? Start by nourishing your creative mind daily. Set aside sacred moments for visualization and imagination. Allow yourself to dream without limits, without judgment, without the restrictions of reality. Connect with the infinite field of possibilities through meditation, contemplation, connection with nature. Close your eyes right now. Breathe deeply. Visualize yourself living in full abundance. See yourself experiencing prosperity in all areas of your life. Feel the emotions of this reality. Experience gratitude, joy, a feeling of fulfillment. This simple practice activates and strengthens your creative mind. At the same time, develop the discipline and structure of the thinking mind. Set clear and specific goals. Create detailed action plans. Organize your resources. Implement daily practices that materialize your visions. But remember, the thinking mind must serve the creative mind, not limit it. Your plan should be expansive, not restrictive. Your goals should inspire you, not imprison you. Your actions should energize you, not exhaust you. When you feel resistance, frustration, or exhaustion in your actions, it is a clear sign that your two minds are out of alignment. The thinking mind is operating independently of the creative mind, following the score of fear and scarcity. I know a woman who completely transformed her financial reality through this balance. For years, she struggled with debt and limitations, working exhaustively at multiple jobs without being able to thrive. She was a master at planning. In execution, her thinking mind was impeccable. He created detailed budgets, followed savings strategies, and implemented action plans with military precision. But something was missing. Discovering the power of the creative mind, she began dedicating 20 minutes every morning to visualizing her ideal life. He imagined himself debt-free, living in abundance, contributing generously to causes he loved. I felt the emotion of this reality as if it were already present. In the early days, it seemed like just an exercise in imagination. But gradually, something started to change. Your decisions have become different. His energy transformed. His intuition sharpened. Unexpected opportunities began to emerge. A side project that he started out of passion began to generate income. A mentor has appeared in your life, offering valuable guidance. A promotion I hadn't even considered manifested itself. In 18 months, she eliminated all her debt and tripled her income. And the most extraordinary thing, I was working fewer hours, with more joy and less effort than before. What changed outwardly? His actions didn't seem that different, but internally, a profound transformation had occurred. Their two minds were now operating in perfect harmony. The creative mind inspired expansive visions, and the thinking mind materialized them with precision. This is the inner symphony of prosperity. It is the sacred dance between the infinite and the finite, between the unlimited and the structured, between the creative and the practical. The universe does not respond to your desires, but to your internal vibration, and when your two minds are in perfect balance, you vibrate at the exact frequency of abundance. Prosperity becomes your natural state, not a constant struggle. Beneath the surface of your conscious mind, there are invisible patterns that may be sabotaging your internal balance. They are limiting beliefs, painful memories, unconscious programming that distort the harmony between your creative mind and your thinking mind. These blockages are like knots in a water channel. Even though the source is abundant, the flow is restricted. No matter how much you apply correct techniques and strategies, the results remain limited. How to identify these blockages? How do you recognize when your minds are out of alignment? A sure sign is when your thinking mind constantly contradicts your creative mind. You visualize prosperity, but immediately think, "That's impossible for someone like me." You dream of abundance, but your internal dialogue says, be realistic, settle for less. You imagine limitless possibilities, but your logical mind comes up with 1,000 reasons why it can't happen. This internal contradiction is a powerful blockage that needs to be dissolved before true balance can be established. Another sign is when your creative mind is disconnected from reality. You dream, you visualize, you affirm, but there is no bridge to materialization. Their visions remain ethereal. Without foundation in the concrete world, you are so focused on thinking abundantly that you neglect acting abundantly. The creative mind without the thinking mind is like a seed without soil. It has nowhere to grow. How to dissolve these blockages? How to restore the natural flow between your two minds? The first step is awareness. Observe your internal dialogue. Listen carefully to the objections that arise when you visualize prosperity. These voices are not yours. They are acquired programming, borrowed beliefs, inherited fears. By recognizing them as external to your true nature, you begin to dissolve their power. The second step is emotional cleansing. Many blocks are rooted in past emotional experiences. Moments when you felt insufficient, unworthy, incapable, or perhaps ancestral memories of scarcity and deprivation. These unprocessed emotions create resistance to the natural flow of abundance. Allow yourself to feel these emotions fully, without judgment. Breathe through them. Release them consciously. Each emotion processed is a knot undone, allowing greater flow between your two minds. The third step is conscious reprogramming. Replace limiting beliefs with expansive truths, not as empty statements, but as deep understandings of the nature of reality. I am worthy of prosperity is not just a repeated phrase, but the fundamental truth about who you are. I know a man who had a deep block related to money. Every time he started to prosper, something happened that sent him back into financial stagnation. It was a pattern that had been repeated for decades. Upon digging deeper, he uncovered a childhood memory. His father, after receiving a significant raise, was fired 6 months later, leading the family into serious hardship. Unconsciously, he had created the association, prosperity equals imminent danger. This invisible block constantly sabotaged the balance between their minds. Your creative mind visualized abundance, but your subconscious activated fear. Your thinking mind created growth strategies, but unconsciously implemented self-sabotage. By recognizing and processing this emotional memory, something extraordinary happened. The internal resistance dissolved. The flow between their two minds was reestablished, and for the first time in his life, he began to experience sustainable prosperity without the cycle of self-sabotage. Your blockages are not walls. They are doors that you have not yet opened. These are opportunities for greater self-knowledge, greater integration, greater flow. Each blockage dissolved releases energy that has been trapped for years, decades, perhaps generations. And when this energy is released, the natural balance between your minds is reestablished. The sacred dance between the creative and the practical flows effortlessly. Prosperity stops being a struggle and becomes its natural expression in the world. Understanding without application is sterile knowledge. For the balance between your minds to generate true fortune, it is essential to establish daily practices that cultivate and strengthen this sacred harmony. Your journey to balance begins in the early hours of the morning, before the world places its demands on you. This is the most powerful time to program your creative mind. Dedicate the first 20 minutes of your day to inner silence. Breathe deeply. Focus on the present moment. Allow your mind to calm down, like a lake that, as it stills, perfectly reflects the sky above. In this receptive state, visualize your ideal life in every sensory detail. See the circumstances you want to create. Listen to the sounds of this new environment. Feel the emotions of this reality. Engage all your senses in this internal experience. It's not just about imagining what you want to have, but who you want to be. Visualize yourself as the person who naturally attracts prosperity. Feel the confidence, the certainty, the gratitude of this evolved version of you. Close this morning practice with powerful statements that affirm your new reality. Not as something distant in the future, but as a present truth. I am prosperous. I am abundant. I am a perfect channel for the flow of wealth. Throughout the day, activate your thinking mind with purpose and direction. Establish 3 clear priorities that align with your larger vision. Don't disperse yourself in activities that drain your energy without contributing to your growth. Work in focused blocks of time, followed by brief periods of refreshment. 90 minutes of intense focus, followed by 10 minutes of mindful rest, creates a rhythm that honors both your productivity and your creativity. Before every financial decision, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this choice aligned with my vision of abundance? Does this action reflect who I am becoming? This simple habit creates a conscious bridge between your creative mind and your thinking mind. Your decisions become expressions of your new vibrational pattern, not automatic responses based on old programming. At night, before bed, dedicate time to integration and harmonization. Review your day with gratitude, not judgment. Recognize where your 2 minds worked in harmony. Identify moments where balance was lost and imagine how it could be different tomorrow. Visualize your mental energy as the luminous currents, 1 golden creative and 1 silver. Thinking, dancing in perfect harmony within you, feel these energies balancing each other, complementing each other, strengthening each other. This nighttime practice programs your subconscious while you sleep, creating new neural patterns that strengthen the balance between your minds. A businesswoman who implemented these practices completely transformed her results in just 60 days. Before, she oscillated between periods of intense creativity without direction and periods of rigid discipline without inspiration. As I established this daily rhythm of balance, something extraordinary happened. Their creative ideas naturally aligned with practical action plans. His discipline became an expression of his passion, not a fight against his nature. Without increasing her work hours, in fact, significantly reducing them, she increased her results by 40%. Ideal clients began to seek her out. Partnership opportunities arose spontaneously. Your relationship with money has transformed from tension to fluidity. The secret? She wasn't doing more. It was being more. Your new state of internal balance created a magnetic field that naturally attracted circumstances aligned with your new vibration. You can monitor your progress through a simple balance diary. At the end of each week, answer, on a scale of 1 to 10, how in harmony were my 2 minds? Where did I experience the greatest alignment? Where did I feel resistance or disconnection? This conscious self-monitoring accelerates your evolution, allowing for precise adjustments in your daily practice. Each day lived in balance is a day of abundance being generated. Each moment of internal harmony is a seed of prosperity planted in the infinite field of possibilities. The constancy of this practice, not its occasional intensity, is what produces transformative results. As you cultivate balance between your creative mind and your thinking mind, a profound transformation begins to occur. It's not just your external reality that changes, but your fundamental identity. This transformation journey generally unfolds in 3 distinct stages. In the first stage, you experience moments of alignment, brief periods where your 2 minds dance in perfect harmony. These moments are accompanied by significant coincidences, small miracles, unexpected openings. They are signs that you are on the right path, confirmations that internal balance really generates external prosperity. In the second stage, these moments become more prolonged states. You begin to live entire days in flow. Resistance decreases. The fighting stops. The feeling of effort is replaced by a feeling of naturalness. Your energy increases. Your intuition sharpens. Your decisions become clearer and more accurate. It is at this stage that many people experience quantum leaps in their finances. Unexpected income manifests itself. Aligned opportunities appear as if by magic. Doors that seemed firmly closed open effortlessly. In the third stage, balance becomes your natural state. It is not something you do, but something you are. Your fundamental identity has transformed. You are no longer trying to attract prosperity. You are prosperity in human expression. At this stage, abundance flows through you into the world. You become a channel, not just a container. Your wealth becomes a vehicle for greater contribution, for meaningful impact, for service to humanity. How do you know you are making progress on this journey? There are unmistakable signs. Your relationship with money becomes calmer, more fluid. Fear and anxiety are replaced with confidence and gratitude. You don't hold onto money or waste it impulsively. There is a natural flow of give and receive. Your relationships transform. People who vibrate at higher frequencies are naturally drawn into your life. Connections based on lack or dependence dissolve, giving way to partnerships based on shared abundance. Your health and vitality increase. Mental balance is reflected in physical balance. The energy that was once consumed by internal struggle is now available for cellular renewal, for vitality, for complete well-being. Above all, you experience a deep sense of purpose and meaning. Prosperity is no longer an end in itself, but a means to fuller expression of your life purpose. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. This is the complete transformation, from someone struggling to survive to someone thriving to serve. From someone trying to extract value from the world to someone creating value through the authentic expression of their unique gifts. We have reached the end of this journey of discovery, but we are only at the beginning of your journey of transformation. The knowledge you receive today is not just information, it is an invitation to a new way of being. The sacred dance between the creative mind and the thinking mind is the key that unlocks the door to effortless prosperity. It is the balance that generates sustainable, abundant, significant fortune. You have learned that the creative mind, expansive, limitless, visionary, creates the vibrational field that attracts circumstances aligned with abundance. And that the thinking mind, practical, organized, executing, materializes these visions on the physical plane. When these two forces work in harmony, you become a perfect channel for the flow of prosperity. Resistance dissolves, the fighting stops. Fortune naturally flows towards you, not because you chase it, but because you become magnetic to it. The invisible blocks that once limited your flow can be identified and dissolved through awareness, emotional clearing, and conscious reprogramming. Each blockage removed releases energy that has been trapped for years, decades, perhaps generations. The daily practices you've learned from morning programming of the creative mind to targeted activation of the thinking mind, culminating in evening integration, create a rhythm that strengthens internal balance. It is through the consistency of these practices that transformation is established as your new vibrational pattern. And as you move through the stages of transformation, it's not just your financial reality that changes, it's your fundamental identity. You move from struggle to flow, from lack to abundance, from fear to trust. Now, the moment of decision has come. Knowledge without application remains sterile. Understanding without action does not generate transformation. What will be your next step? Which practice will you implement first? Which blockage are you ready to dissolve? Which aspect of internal balance will you consciously cultivate from today? It doesn't have to be grand. In fact, small, consistent steps create deeper, more lasting changes than occasional dramatic gestures. Start by committing to 10 minutes of creative visualization every day in the morning. Establish a habit of pausing before every financial decision, ensuring it is aligned with your bigger vision. Start a balance journal to track your progress weekly. Small adjustments in the internal vibrational pattern create large changes in external manifestations. It is the law of least effort, energy saving, the power of precision. Always remember, you are not seeking fortune, you are becoming the kind of person to whom fortune flows naturally. It's not about having more, but about being more. And right now, you already have within you everything you need to start this journey. Perfect balance already exists in its essence. You are just rediscovering what was always yours by divine right. True fortune is not just material. It is the wealth of living in alignment with your highest nature, expressing your unique gifts, contributing to a more abundant world for all. And that starts now, with your decision to take the next step. The entire universe is waiting to respond to your new internal balance. The life you always knew was possible is closer than you think. Are you ready?